world.
Welcome.
Welcome back to the Reptile Radio Extravaganza. I'm Dan.
Brandon.
Kevin.
We got Kevin here today as our special guest. It's right around Christmas time, and everybody says Christmas is a time for family, so we got Brandon's brother on the show today.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
You can see how well we look.
The family resemblance.
Yeah.
Especially in, like, the face region.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. What's up, Kevin?
And much. How you doing today,
I'm
Dad?
doing pretty good. We had a fun past couple of weeks, between doing the show and getting a couple of new reptiles for...
Yeah, we're a week behind, but, we're trying to, that's life. So.
Yeah, I mean, we try our best. We get as much done in the time as possible, and I think we're doing pretty fucking good,
Yeah. I watched a few of your episodes.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
Anything to do with reptiles.
Yeah.
I'm going to put, on the thumbnail, an X-Wing, just for you.
Yes. Kevin's a big Star Wars fan.
And we're going to go see that shit right after this. So
yeah, they're going to go see The Last Jedi. I might
yeah.
join them. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You should come.
We'll see.
We'll see.
You pretty sure you're not going to be any less confused than 90% of the people that went and saw it this time anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's been hounding me about seeing it, so it's like,
let's go.
Let's do it.
All right. So, Kevin, what started your interest with reptiles? What was your first reptile? What was just the idea of, owning a pet reptile that you were like, I gotta have it?
When I was 9 or 10 years old, my mom had a ball python, Vinny.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you told me that. I forgot.
For a long time, too, dude. She had that shit forever.
Just like a normal?
Yeah, just a regular ball
your
python.
Standard
And
pet store ball python.
She always had a snake growing up.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
And I always was right there when it was fed. We got to hold it. So at 9, 10 years old, I was the one with the snake wrapped around my neck.
Yeah,
I think I was
cool
too young,
kid.
but like I said in our first
Not only that,
episode,
but Dad wouldn't let you because Dad hated snakes, so he wouldn't let you anywhere near the snakes.
It
I
sounds
was
like
actually
mine too. So.
I was telling in the first episode you had a new
A salamander.
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 A salamander when we were really young. So that was my first introduction to reptiles. Because in Colorado, it's
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, they're not real.
They run you out of the town if they know that you have a freaking snake.
snake. Yeah,
Get out of town!
Witchcraft.
right.
Yeah. Black magic. Because you have a friggin' ball python.
Right.
That's funny.
It's that shit's. Well, I guess in the desert-y parts of Colorado, there's some snakes and
Yeah,
some
snakes.
There, it's rattlesnakes.
rattlesnakes and shit.
Dude, that's pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know, right there, Arizona has got tons of snakes and tarantulas and lizards
Scorpions.
and scorpions.
And actually, I was just telling him you had a tarantula too, didn't you? It was a rose
Heath
hair.
Heath
gave you one, but I'm sure it was wild caught. Just
he just
It
fucked
was.
it up.
yeah, I was here you go.
It was.
Yeah.
And Mom killed it the first chance she got.
God.
Oops.
Yeah.
She didn't like spiders, so.
Oh. Did she whap it with a newspaper?
I don't. She told me that it
It
died.
just disappeared.
She told me that.
Oh, okay, it disappeared.
She told me it died
on
in its
vacation.
sleep.
Yeah.
No, she said it died in its sleep.
Oh, okay, yeah. The easiest way
goldfish story.
to let down your kid.
Flushed
Yeah.
it. She probably didn't flush it. She probably torched it, which is
Probably.
Yeah, I remember being young and thinking I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom, I get it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Santa Claus stories.
Yeah.
So, you had a couple of pets growing up, and then was there? I'm sure there was a gap where you didn't have one, but were you interested in other reptiles and spiders and
Spiders, not so much. Not really insects. Reptiles, always.
Yeah.
Again, I think we were talking about this as when we were all living together.
Yep.
When you moved in with us, we kind of forced you to hey, here's Marceline. You gotta hold her, dude. She's super chill.
Yeah,
I know you have
It took me getting annihilated drunk to hold her.
yeah.
I remember the picture.
Just hold out your hand.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hold out your hand.
But
Just
you
throw it
ended
on
up really taking your own to it and going in there and picking her up yourself. I would catch you
You started picking and choosing. I'm gonna hold that today. I'm gonna do that today.
It was always Marceline.
Yeah.
Marceline
was a
she was
gigantic
old.
rose hair that we got for dirt cheap.
$10, I think.
Yeah, no,
One
even
of the
less.
shows.
I bet,
Yeah.
dude. It was $5 to $8.
$5 bill.
Yeah, well, it was. I said before in one of the shows, I got a Brazilian white knee, and the guy who sold us the tarantula were like, let's get that rose hair too. He's like, all right, fine. So we just, paid him a couple extra bucks, and he was like, yeah, take it. Like, it's a rose hair. I mean, in all honesty, anyone who knows reptiles or tarantulas, like, rose hairs are like the bland, ordinary, like, tarantula.
Yeah, it's the plain Jane.
Yeah. It's just, you go to any pet store worldwide, and I'm sure if
they have a rose hair.
They had, well, it's either a rose hair or like a pink toe.
But they're so sweet, so it's
they got a nice demeanor to them. They're not like fast and aggressive. I mean, I've never had a problem with a rose hair ever.
Yeah.
So I mean, if someone tells you like, I got bit by one,
I've never even seen like a flighty like rose hair.
No.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. If somebody tells you like that thing bit me, it's like,
it's funny how
what's wrong with you then?
Yeah.
Like,
it's funny how you call it sweet, and like you don't think of a spider as sweet.
Yeah,
but then
like,
after seeing Marceline, there's no other word to describe her. But like, hey,
I'm saying, man, for like a layman, they think spiders are just like gross.
Yeah.
Like, keep that thing away from me. I don't want to touch it. I don't want it to breathe on me. Like, no thanks.
Yeah.
But once we got into more tarantulas and, snakes and other big lizards, I mean, our fear just went out the door.
Yeah.
Like, we just did not
you
care.
do stuff firsthand, man. It's
yeah.
Totally
I mean, you
different,
get hands-on, and
yeah.
it's like, oh, it kind of just squashes everyone's perception.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait, like, this thing's actually pretty cool.
Well, yeah, you have, like, friends over, like, oh, fuck that. But it's like, dude, let me show you.
Yeah, watch me do it.
Like,
Whoop,
it's
and you just
nothing.
scoop
It's
it up.
easy, so.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you just did that? Like, dude, yeah like, I'm not scared, and you shouldn't be either. Like,
take a few shots and hold it.
Yeah.
Some liquid courage on that.
Jack will help you. He'll teach you.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. So, you didn't get anything while we were living together, but you definitely kind of expanded as far as...
He didn't need to.
Yeah. We had enough to go around. But I think it helped you to really open up and see that, like, oh, this is like this is like this. And you can kind of get an idea, a feel for, like, the type of animal that it was and, just ease into it.
Yeah.
So then it was probably, like a year later...
When I got the corn
oh,
snake.
yeah. You got the corn snake. I forgot about that. What was its name?
Aurelia.
That's
but
right.
I will say, so like Mike from Exotic Kingdom, you had gotten that little like glass.
No, it's a plastic container.
Plastic container, and he still sells those to this day.
I have one actually. I have two.
I swear, those are just like the coolest little.
Yeah, it's just like
something.
It looks like something you get at like Michael's to put like your trading cards in, just like a clear plastic with like a little snap lid.
Yeah, but it's like
it's
modern looking like little.
It's kind of more like customary than that, but I mean, just to put it in perspective, like it looked like just like a little thing you collect like baseball cards in or something, Pokemon cards.
Sorry, I always loved that thing.
But it escaped. It popped out of that thing, and
see, we have all had escapees. Like,
it happens. They're
gonna get out.
Yeah,
I just had one this week.
Oh yeah,
and it was a 7.5-foot boa. And it's like, this fucker is so huge. Like, how am I not seeing this?
Actually, I was on the phone with you, and you were like, "Dude, I think someone broke into my house because like shit was knocked over."
Oh, dude,
and
like there were paintings on the wall were like crooked, and like my friggin' hand sanitizer was like smacked off the shelf. Like,
wow,
what the hell happened? And it's like nothing looks broken.
Okay.
Nothing looks like it's
nothing
missing.
was stolen.
Well, yeah. So
what the fuck happened here?
I immediately thought, Chester. What did you do?
Got out.
Yeah, because she can climb around and wreak havoc on the house and knock some stuff over, but she was in her enclosure. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to put that on you like that. But then I started checking around at all the other setups, and I noticed the boas, I had two of them together because they're breeding right now. Mm-hmm. The male was not in there. It was, like, blatantly obvious. Like, when a giant snake's not in there, it's... You pretty much know
that shit.
So then I told Brandon, I was like, oh, dude, I think one of my boas got out. Mm-hmm. And there's weights on the setup, but maybe he just found one, like, weak corner and just, like...
He was, like, testing that shit.
Like popped it out. Yeah, exactly. So I tore apart the house for, like...
It was, like, 2 hours.
2 hours, man. Every nook and cranny, every corner, every bin... Like, I tore the place apart. And I was like, this is frustrating. Like, I can't find him. And he's so big, like, how is this not happening? So I looked at my snake rack, and I checked in front of it, side to side. I put my flashlight, like, behind it. And even then, like, I couldn't see him. So finally, after I went back and started checking everything again, I was doing it more thoroughly, and I pulled out every bin from the rack, and he was
sitting behind there,
crammed up, like, in the back corner, to where even when I shined the flashlight behind the rack, you couldn't see him.
Oh, shit.
So he was, like, real crammed up in there, and I reached in to get him out, and I guess I startled him, and he started opening his mouth and, like, moving his head around. I'm like, ugh! I'm like, okay, so I let him go, and then kind of just, like, eased into it. Like, maybe I came on a little strong. So I let him just crawl out, and eventually he was out in the open, and I scooped him up, and I was like, I got him.
Right.
Like, done.
Did you find your corn snake after that?
Mikey found it.
Mikey found it.
Well,
yeah.
I remember
it.
We found it in your driveway.
Kevin used to live next door to me, so he was out walking around one night and saw a snake in my driveway, and it's like, oh, that's mine, and just picked it up, like, no problems, no issues, and put it back, and you had it for
a good month and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple months after that, and it got out again, and it was like, damn it.
That time was...
Yeah, it was gone, but a couple months later...
No, it was like a year and a half
Oh
later.
my god, like, it was pretty much, it was at least 6 months to a year. Like, it was a good minute. And then another neighbor called complaining that a snake had gotten into their house. And they freaked out, and I think they chopped it.
Yeah.
They did.
They did.
Dude,
But
that
it was
pissed me
like
off
4
so
times
bad.
the length.
Yeah, it was like at least like 3 foot, and it used to be like a little baby
It's like,
worm.
dude, why'd you do that? It's probably eating all the fucking shit
No,
around
exactly.
here. Like,
Yeah.
It went after him.
Oh yeah, that
corn snake?
He probably deserved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Stupid guy.
fuck that guy.
He was
Yeah.
probably just...
Like snake chasing him through the house,
There's
like a
this-
little corn snake.
Yeah, there's a story by that guy.
So
but fuck
yeah,
him. Sorry.
whatever. Yeah, moving on. I mean, they killed it, and we were all pretty bummed. You know, we could have saved it, but all in all, I mean, that was pretty crazy. That like
Yeah.
it got out, and it didn't go far. Like we found it a few times, like in the neighborhood.
Well, not even 20 feet from where he got out.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Just for like a year and a half, just
Yeah,
showed
so-
in a 20-foot radius.
So you had the corn snake, and then I think you noticed that I had more the ball pythons and the boas, like, and you had a ball python growing up, to my knowledge, now that I know, and we brought you to was that your first Repticon?
Yeah,
that
I
we
think
went
so.
to, and tell your story. Like, how did you find Radley?
Well, I started out, I was just looking for something new, something that I hadn't had before, like whether it be a tega gecko or...
A tokay gecko?
Tokay gecko.
Tegu gecko.
That's what I was looking for, because I wanted the color.
They're
And
mean as
then
fuck, too.
I remember coming
Yeah.
up to you asking, like, dude, what's with the xanthic? And you're like, dude, that's like silver genes.
Yeah, it lacks the yellow pigment, is the xanthic gene, and it's pretty wild, but
And once you said, like, once you explained it, that's what I got hooked on that
you
snake.
liked the xanthic, and the guy was willing to sell it, like,
Yep.
pretty cheap, so I think you got a good deal on, it's a male xanthic ball, and when you got it, he was just like a little baby, you know, real small, and he got out. I remember that, because you guys are originally from Colorado, and you went out there to visit family, and Kevin, being my next door neighbor, said, go check on the snake and, you know, make sure he's all right.
Everything's good.
And I was like, yeah, of course. You know, I'm not going to worry about that. Like, you live right next door. I'll just go in there and check him out and make sure he's all right, like freshen his water, put fresh newspaper down. And I walked in there, and the lid was a locking lid that you push shut. It didn't just sit on there. And it was like, like pushed open just a little bit. And I lifted up everything in there, and I was like, damn it. Like, he got out. So, I mean, it's your house, so I wasn't going to, like, tear the place apart, but I did check, like, all around with a flashlight, and I couldn't find him. I searched for probably about an hour, maybe, like, 45 minutes, you know, and I'd pretty much gotten to the point where it's like, well, I got to get back home, and I'll come back later and see if I can find him. And I go to exit the house, and he's stretched across
The door.
the bottom of the door frame, the trim there. And so, like, if I didn't even see him then, I'd be stepping over him to leave the house.
And he's like, ah.
Yeah, so I ended up finding him, and I told you, like, dude, I'm just going to bring him over to my place so I can just keep a closer eye on him.
Yep.
And
He's been here
ever since, yeah. You ended up moving to Colorado, and I think the morning that you moved, we really hadn't decided what was going on with him yet. And I think you were on the road, and you're just like, keep the snake. Like, okay, like, sure, man, I got you. And I still have him. I'm not going to get rid of him. I'm not going to sell him or anything. And now he's up to breeder size.
Yeah.
And I think I paired him up with one of the females. Just
the pastel, right?
I think so, yeah. And I know that, like, their genes are real wild when it comes to the xanthics, and, like, you gotta, like, know that this is het xanthic, and if it's not, then whatever you breed becomes het xanthic, and you gotta breed it back to, like, the mother, and it's a whole friggin' ordeal.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm not too keen on, like, the xanthic gene. I think they're cool, but the amount of work that goes into making them and making morphs out of them, it's kind of difficult. Yeah. I prefer, you know, I got my mimosa male and my pastel female, and I'm just going to put them together, and that'll make some nice babies no matter what.
Is there another, like, snake you'd want to get?
A pied.
A pied?
Oh, the pieds, dude. We talked about that. We love lightning pieds. The xanthic pieds, where it's like the white and then like that silver and black.
Yep.
That's crazy looking, dude. They're really cool. I mean, pieds they're more accessible now, I feel like, than 5 years ago.
Sure.
You know? I mean, when they first came out, it was like, whoa, look at the white on that. Like, looks like someone just, like, dipped it in paint.
Like a couple of spots. Like,
that's why I like it. I like the morphs that are different. Not like got like the bumblebee, you've got your albino, you've got your regular, and then you've got the other other spectrum of it. You got your pieds, your xanthics, your pinstripes,
and it goes so deep. Different. It goes so deep now that it's like, I don't even know what some of those are. It's like you see what it is, and it's like someone's like, try to identify it, win a prize. Like, I'm not even gonna try. There's probably like 3 genes in there that I don't even know
of
what that is, but it made that.
Yeah,
and it's like a 6 gene snake. Like, jeez.
When's Repticons? Like in March, right?
February is the next one.
So maybe we
coming up.
Yeah, man. We'll probably do another video on that too.
Of course, yeah. We'll film the shows.
Walk through.
Yeah, walk through, say hi to some friends. Yeah. Dude, I would like one time to actually get like a booth and pull people in, like tag in your friends and just do little short interviews and just throw them all together.
Could look
like,
into that.
Yeah. So, I just recently, it's Christmas time, like we said, and I didn't want to wait till February to go out there and see what they have and maybe buy this and maybe buy that. So I found a place that was selling Pac-Man frogs. So I thought in my mind, that was one thing that we both kind of talked about. Like, we need to get a tarantula or a Pac-Man frog. Or
Pac-Man frogs are in like my top 3, man. Like,
yeah. And like, I remember like we were talking about that on the show and saying we want more Pac-Man frogs, more tarantulas. They're so easy to take care of, and it's just nice to have one. And you haven't had one for a little while,
right?
So I made some calls. I found a place, and I got you for Christmas the apricot albino.
Love it. Yeah.
Did you name it yet?
Not yet.
No.
I set him up this morning. I don't know. I want to
name it Peach.
Peach. Yeah.
No, I got
Princess Peach.
I got a leopard
Princess
gecko.
Peach.
I got a leopard gecko that's Princess Peach.
Well, there we go.
That's Morgan's
that's
actually.
Taken.
Yeah.
That's taken. So no, I'll come up with something, man. I got it because like Cheddar was a perfect name.
Yeah, Cheddar was awesome.
But I don't want like Cheddar 2.0. So
yeah,
I'll come up with something.
Cheddar 2.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Exactly. Cheddar
But
cheese.
I ended up picking up
Double cheddar.
Yeah, double cheddar cheese.
Cheeto.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
I like Cheeto. Yeah.
Cheeto. Yeah.
You might have just coined that name.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nail on the head, dude.
Yeah.
Nice
Cheeto.
going, Kevin.
Yeah, good work.
That's cool.
And we got it on film.
Yeah.
Cheeto. I like it.
Y'all heard it here first at the Reptile Radio Extravaganza.
Yeah, that's right.
Cheeto.
Need a name? Let me know.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I got you the Pac-Man frog because that's what buddies do.
Yeah.
You know, like Merry Christmas.
Right.
Have a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Hey.
so I got you the Pac-Man frog. I picked up my son a green Pac-Man frog because he also loves the Pac-Man frog. That's his favorite.
Yeah.
Nice.
Inside out, no matter what animal I have, he's like, that's cool. But anytime I mention the frogs, or I'm gonna feed them, or I'm gonna clean their tanks, like let me help, I want to see them. Like he's always so hyped on the frogs, and that's kind of how I was even as like a little kid.
Right.
You know, I couldn't believe that he got so into frogs like I did, and so I got him a green one. He doesn't know it yet, so they're gonna be super surprised.
Oh yeah.
And then for my daughter, she has been asking for turtles. Every time we go to the pet store, there's always those tiny little turtles, and they're all like 3 stacked up on each other, and she's like, "That's so funny!" Like she just loves the little turtles. So I had the opportunity to get some baby turtles, and I was like, you know, for a long time I'd never owned an aquatic turtle before.
Yeah.
Maybe we rescued one from like a lake.
So you have like Donatello and Michelangelo.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna. I named one.
Yeah.
I bought 2 because one I wanted for her that was more colorful, that gives her like that turtle feel.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't need to know.
This is like your first dipping your toes into some turtle stuff.
Yeah, really. And I didn't need to know that like she doesn't need to know like what type of turtle it is and how big it's gonna get and all this and that. Like I wanted her to get her something really pretty just to look at and be like, that's my turtle. Right. So I got her a yellow belly turtle with some really, it's a bright yellow, it's got a lot of yellows in it. You know, some of them are a little darker, like green, but this one's green and yellow, like really bright, really cool pattern on the shell. And then I picked out a map turtle because I thought they were just so cool with like the little spiky ridge down the center, like a mohawk, and it's black. And then the one I got didn't look like any of the other map turtles. It has 4 black spots around like the edge of the shell, and they're really big, so like you could see it. But none of the other map turtles had that.
Right.
So they haven't seen the frog or the turtles yet, but that's kind of like one of their Christmas presents coming up. And I'm sure they're just going to be ecstatic. Yeah. They're going to lose their minds.
So like if you went to Repticon, like what else would you get? Like
what would
turtle.
You want?
You would get a
You're
turtle?
You're going to get a turtle too?
Nah, thinking about it. But
Well, would you get a turtle or would you get a tortoise? You've had a sulcata.
Sulcata, yeah.
Turtles are the land, like the ones that go up on land. The tortoises are the ones.
Tortoises are dry land, and then turtles, like aquatic turtles. I mean, I got it where there's probably like an inch or two, like an inch and a half of water across the bottom, and then like some rocks to climb up on. Like my map turtle was up in like this little fake tree that I had, and I was looking in the water. I'm like, where is it? Like, I don't see him. And it's like, he can't get out.
He's chilling.
Yeah, and I look up in the tree, and he's like hanging up in there. It's like, oh, it's funny. Like, I'm still learning. I don't know much about.
You know, like either a turtle or a chameleon. But turtles are awesome just because when you get them really small like that and watching them swim.
Oh, dude, they're hilarious,
they're
right?
Funny,
I'm instantly like drawn to that now. It's like I set up their little thing and
just go.
I see them splashing around in there right now.
Oh, chameleons, like what kind? Like
you're talking chameleons.
Like a Jackson or
something? No, wait. My veiled chameleon.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Dude, so much has happened. We never get enough coverage on it. But my female veiled laid 25 eggs just like a week or 2 ago. And I noticed her, she was like digging at like the corner of her cage. And I'm like, oh, like I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying to do something.
She's got a little thing of dirt.
Yeah. So I put a lay box in there, she starts digging away at it, and one night when I'm going to click off all the lamps, I noticed her sitting in the lay box, and at that point there was already like 10 or 11 eggs in the box. I'm like, what?
It's crazy.
Like, she's doing it.
Yeah.
Like, and when I got them as rescues, the person had said that they were paired together. They were living in the same setup.
Right.
And when I got them, I separated them into separate screen cages just so I could monitor their behaviors and like make sure that they're eating well, and just to like acclimate them to my environment rather than.
It's like I just held her like right before that.
Yeah.
You didn't even notice.
No. I actually, for me, when I was looking at her every day, I noticed like
she's bulging up.
Little bulges on the sides.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, dude, I mean, for a veiled chameleon that's like this big, like 25 eggs is like, fucking.
That's a lot. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
yeah.
So,
and so if you're looking for a chameleon, you can go ahead and get one, or wait about 8-9 months and maybe get a baby
9
one.
Months,
like,
so.
Yeah.
I'll probably do that. I'm not in the market for anything right now.
Oh, just wait it out, and it's like, hey man, you still want a chameleon?
No, definitely.
I got plenty.
Right. Got baby chameleons. That's like the best thing ever.
Dude, I can't wait. Yeah. But I mean, they're so crazy that it takes that long. And like, I was candling the eggs, where candling, you put it on like a light and you can see into the egg.
The embryo.
And you look for the embryo. But I didn't really see any embryos in there. But then I was researching online, like, what do you do if they lay the eggs? And they're like, just put them in the incubator. Don't think too much into it, because they're such a slow-growing animal. And when they hatch out, they're like minuscule, dude. Tiny.
Really?
They're really
real
small.
Tiny. That's what I'm saying. Like, baby chameleons are so awesome because they're like little,
just tiny little chameleons. And they're moving around. Their tails curling, like you know. So I was reading that like it may not even develop an embryo for like a month. You know, like it's so damn small that like you may not even know. So I just put them in the incubator. I haven't even looked at them maybe one time since, and just leaving them alone.
Do you turn them or anything, or do you just leave them?
I don't think so. Yeah.
You gotta think in the wild, they probably don't get turned or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
No, they do.
Like,
that's when the mother.
The mother would.
Well, that's. I mean, Danny was saying that on his interview. He's like, well, so long. Like, grow up to be somebody.
Right.
Like, they just lay the eggs and then dip.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right.
You know, and it's pretty true, actually.
Yeah.
And
my part's done.
Yeah. So hate to interrupt, but going back to Repticon. So if not a chameleon, you're talking about turtles. Do you know much about them? Do you know like different types and all that? See, that's how I felt too. Is like I've seen a lot, but I never like put a name to what I'm seeing.
But I mean, that's how everything is. You really don't know. Sometimes you don't know about it, and you're like,
didn't you have a yellow belly too?
Well, yeah, I had a yellow belly.
Yeah, so yellow bellies I'm starting to find
super
is, like,
common. Just like
they look like a red ear slider, but red ear sliders are illegal to own in Florida.
For real?
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles are illegal to own in Florida.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, they're the ones you see swimming in all the lakes and ponds and all that. And I've actually gone with my kids with a little butterfly net and scooped them up like out of the water.
I've
like,
pulled a couple out of the road.
Yeah, let them
a
look.
Few times.
Oh yeah, we've done that too. Yeah. But I'll pick it up and let them like look at it, and they're like, it keeps sticking its head in its shell. Like, yeah, it's being a turtle, you know.
Yeah.
And then like let them play with it a little bit, and then just let it back in the lake. And you know, we've definitely like seen a lot of them, and I don't really care for the red ear sliders. It doesn't matter.
It's
to
just
me.
well, I mean, it's just the wildlife here.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So I've seen. I mean, the only few that I knew were like, you know, yellow bellies, red ear sliders, musk turtles, spotted turtles are really cool looking too. Like a black shell with like yellow dots, like like all over. They're really cool. I know about them. I like the map turtles because they got almost like that spiky ridge to their shells, kind of like a snapping turtle, but not even.
What are the little ones that you find at any pet store?
I like the yellow bellies.
The little tiny,
like yellow slider or some yellow belly. I mean, There's. I mean, you go to like
they're like the rose hair of
yeah.
turtles.
I mean, you go to the pet store and they have that big aquatic tank with like 30 of them in there.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
It's just a variety. You know, they have all different types. I mean, when I got the map and the yellow belly, that was just one amongst. He had like Eastern painted turtles and like just a whole bunch of them. Mm-hmm. Now, if I ever had the opportunity, I would love a Diamondback Terrapin. Those things are so sick looking, dude. Like the white color head and then like the real cool looking shell. Like those things are sweet. But once again, I think they're illegal to have in Florida unless it's for like educational purposes or something like that.
Well, technically, being a channel that educates people on reptiles, would that you be able to
we do the Reptile Radio Extravaganza. We're in. Like,
we got a YouTube channel.
Yeah. that would be pretty sweet if we could gain enough popularity that they allow that. We're educating and trying to bring knowledge to the table. Like, that's pretty sweet. It's a good idea. Kevin's full of ideas, everybody. Yeah. We love it.
What else you got?
What else? Come on.
I'm naming my chameleon Hugh.
Hugh Chameleon?
Hugh,
because he changes colors.
Yeah, either hue or shade.
Oh, dude, it took me a second. I was like, Huey, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Like, but the hue of the color, dude. What? Mm-hmm. You clever ass motherfucker. Like,
Panther Chameleon.
Yep.
Let's take a break real quick.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. There's Kevin and Snake Radley. He started out as just a tiny little worm, a small little baby, and now he's probably like 800-900 grams, and very healthy.
You can totally see the silver on him.
Yeah,
too.
Very healthy snake, and I've actually really liked him. You know,
I love this snake.
Hi.
He's so docile and just
I like how he's got that silver hue, but
that's
then he's got
you see that?
Hue, he's got that silver hue to him, but that pink tongue is so funny to me. Like,
it's like the angle that you look at him, he's got like a milky silver color.
Yeah. He lacks the yellow pigment, so his whites are really bright.
Yeah.
What is it?
He's got the ET heads.
Explore it. Like, he's very explorative.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely a curious snake. You know, he doesn't sit still. I mean, he's always checking everything out. Like, that's what I'm saying. He's got a good personality. He's a cool snake, and that's something I've really liked about him. You know, helping raise him for some time. You know, for some reason, my male snakes are the finickiest when it comes to eating.
Yeah.
1 week, they'll pound a rat. And the next feeding, they'll hide their head, like, no, I don't want it, keep it away. And it's like, Radley, I'm fairly certain has never missed a meal. Nope. Like, he always eats, and that's something I really like about him, that he's not a shy ball python at all. And I've had some snakes where friends of mine who work in reptile shops and feed like 200-300, they're like, dude, that is the shyest snake I've ever seen in my life. And it's
like they say that animals take after their owners, and I'm very outgoing, and you can tell I've never missed a meal.
Yeah. Nice. Pro eater. Right there. But, I mean, he's a good snake, and he's definitely a great addition to any collection, you know. If someone likes the axanthic trait, I mean, more power to you. You know,
it's a lot of work.
It is, yeah. I've said, you know, I like a lot of the brighter colored snakes, and a lot of my friends are like, oh, I got this beautiful cinnamon.
I love the stripe right down the back of its neck. Mm-hmm. It's got a nice little, a
solid little stripe there.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, he's definitely a cool snake. So, would you ever consider getting another ball python?
Yep.
And if not... Well, I mean, the pied, but they're a little more expensive. If you ended up getting something else, do you know, like, what else would you prefer? You've said albinos.
Blue-eyed Lucy.
Oh, dude, yeah, the blue-eyed Lucys are sick. That's
blue-eyed Lucinic.
The leucistic.
Leucistic.
Yeah, and That's you can do. There's so many different ways to actually get that snake, which is what's crazy to me.
You can do it with the Xanthic too. Okay?
I don't know about that, but it's like a Mojave to a Mojave, a lesser to a lesser. You know,
Jesus Christ.
There's certain ones that you can breed together, and you'll still get a blue-eyed Lucy. And then people tell you what the pairing is, and that I guess gives you more of an idea, like if they breed.
What's the other one, like what with the red eyes, like the actual what you would expect an albino snake?
Well, it's like an albino. You know, there's.
But like I know how there's one that looks just like a blue-eyed Lucy, but it still has the red eyes.
Oh man, I mean,
it's the white of a snake.
I'm not positive. I mean, there's so many different kinds. I'm just blanking on the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because that one is one of the I know that you can get from a Xanthic.
I mean, there's the red spectrum Xanthic. I'm not sure if they have the red eyes, but you breed that to something, you're gonna get some crazy looking babies. I've had a few friends that have. Well, he's going for the back of the chair, and it's got like the metal bar across there. He's just gonna like get stuck on
exploring.
That. Yeah,
I like your new scarf.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. Nice winter look.
Yeah, just trying to keep. He's trying to move away, like towards the. He's trying to pull a Chester and knock over the background.
Like, what's up there?
So,
I want to see all that.
Yeah.
He's seeing all the Pikachus and stuff. Like, bro, give me a war turtle.
Oh no, Mega Man's facing off.
It's going down your shirt now.
No, it's just the tailor.
Yeah.
Here, pull it.
Try and keep him to the front. Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, he keeps trying to move back the other way, but
he's not wanting to be on the camera anymore.
You like some expensive snakes. You got expensive taste, man.
It's not like I said. It's not expensive. It's different. It's something that not a lot of people have.
I mean, and there's a good reason for that
because it's that
money.
It's like $10,000. Like, oh man, that's beautiful. It's like, yeah, you're paying for that.
Yeah,
you know, it's like.
But if you're paying for something, might as well get something.
Well, you can get the Honda Civic, or you can get the Porsche,
Bentley.
The Bugatti.
Yeah, you could get the.
Let's say the blue-eyed Lucy
you can get the
Bugatti.
You can get the Civic, or you can get the Maybach.
Yeah,
like whichever you prefer.
No, I wouldn't say that Radley's the Civic. I'd say Radley's more of like the Lexus. He's not the best, but not the worst. Like not the regular.
No.
Like this Nissan.
He's the Nissan.
I'd say the freaking the Lexus, because Lexus is a higher version of a Toyota.
No, I mean Lexus would be like a Lightning Pied. You're getting into some fancy business.
It's a Nissan. Nissans are good.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. A lot of people like
Nissan
them.
Altima.
Yeah.
Call Radley a Civic.
The Civic.
Civics are cool, man. Like, it's just a basic Xanthic. It doesn't have, as many genes piled into it as, say, a Lightning Pied. Like when you start getting into stuff like that, that's more high-end, expensive stuff.
See, that always intrigued me, how many different genes a snake can have.
The amount that people...
It's not like just, you can either, it's dominant or recessive. You've got you can have this, and this. You could have
But it's even crazier because some genes, if you breed them together, you'll have stillborn babies.
Yep.
Like, you cannot mix those genes.
There's
I know my friend said, if you breed a Woma ball python to another Woma to Woma, you're not going to have any babies. Or they're going to be real sickly. For some reason, certain ones you cannot cross together.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might even be the same with spider ball pythons. Sure. I've heard about that, where it's you do a male to a female, and it's not so much. But you do a male to a pastel, and you get bumblebees. So it's so crazy how deep it really goes. Like you said, you can have the best ball python in the world, but then for some reason you can't breed it. He's so cool.
Called his bluff. He's like, I'm all right. He's like, I want on the thing. Okay, now I'm here. I don't need to. I don't
yeah, I'm on the show. This is my show now. The Radley Radio Extravaganza.
Radley Radio.
Yeah, and he's not head shy at all,
No.
which is like really nice about. I mean, really any ball python, you know, like especially the males. Like, look at that. Boop boop boop. You're so cute.
He was like, all right.
Quit fucking with my head.
Yeah.
My head shy, don't take advantage of my non-head shyness.
No,
Like,
but
bro.
that pink tongue, dude, he's so
Yep.
cool. Radley's awesome. We all like Radley here. Hey, buddy. So, I don't know about too much else, man. I mean, we covered a lot with snakes, with the reptile show. It's Christmas time.
Yeah, you'll have to go to Repticon with us, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
come to the next show.
I'm going to. I'm on a pot.
And-
I'm going to get another snake.
Another snake. And sometimes, I mean,
maybe
you
a
went
turtle,
in there.
maybe
Yeah,
a chameleon.
you went in there.
No,
with-
chameleon, I'm going to wait.
You went in there
I'm waiting on
without
here.
the
Right.
without
Huh?
the intent of knowing what snake you were gonna get,
Yep.
but you're keeping your options open, and then you discovered Radley, and you're like, "That's the one."
Yep.
And it wasn't, you know, ungodly expensive. It wasn't like the brightest, most immaculate snake you've ever seen, but he was cool. As
And I remember when I
anything
got
else.
him, it was one of those like, hey, what about this? Like, this one's kind of cool. Like, I
Yeah.
kind of like it. Soon as I saw the Azanthic and you told me that it had the
If it lacked the yellow pigment,
yeah, I'm like, I'm getting it. And he turned out awesome.
yeah, he
Because
sure
he's
did.
been like this since he was a baby. Just
Yeah,
a little more head shy.
shed,
And
I'm saying every shed he gets like lighter and lighter, and that's something I've liked about him so much. Like every time, you know, when they go into shed, they start to like brown out.
Yeah.
You know, get really dark and you know kind of dull. But then he sheds, and it's like woof, like he just turns super bright, and he's just the coolest, man.
I like how long he is. Like he's
Oh man, he's
a good
growing.
size.
You know, he's a breeder male now. You know, he can definitely be paired up with something. You know, as long as he's ready and willing to do it.
Let's see how he did with that pastel.
We'll see. I mean, I paired the pastel with the mimosa and with the Xanthic, so we'll have to see. It'll be a mystery clutch.
What's mimosa?
It's like I think. Don't quote me on this. I think it's a pastel champagne, something like that. I'm not positive.
Orange juice and champagne.
Yeah. Gin and juice.
Mimosa.
The snake. Yeah. But, I mean, anything that I breed, you know, I'll probably keep most of the babies, give you one. If you want one for the kids, like, why not? You know, so I'm not looking to make $1 million and make the latest and greatest snake morph, but I'd just be happy with any babies because my two favorite baby animals are leopard geckos and ball pythons. They're just so freaking cute when they're like freshly hatched. Like I criddle over, like, oh, it's adorable. Like can't stop, you know. So
That's how it is for me with like baby chameleons. Like, oh,
I like them, but it's just
Me
they're
and turtles.
so small. It's like I feel they're so fragile. Like,
I just crawl on my finger. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you're good.
oh, dude.
Well, yeah, this is the end of season 1.
Yeah.
too, so we're gonna have
season
Season
1
finale.
finale, and we have Kevin and Radley here to join us, and you know, starting the new year, we're gonna have our season 2.
It's gonna be different.
Yep, we're going harder.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna definitely make new edits,
Better quality.
better
I'm hoping,
quality.
so.
I mean, the more that we do this, the more that we're learning, and we're adding more things to the set, and you know, bringing more people in to interview with them, and more hands-on. You know, we like to share all the animals, you know, and just try and educate people. Like I feel like we're doing some good,
Yeah.
you know, for the reptile community,
Right.
where it's like we're just some ordinary dudes and we love reptiles.
And
it's
podcasts, like,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
just-
it's like anybody can do it. It's just getting over that hump, that fear, like we were talking about earlier. It's
Yeah.
like
Well, if
a
you go
lot
like
of people,
our first episode to even just now, it's
oh my god, the difference
a
is
learning process,
insane. Yeah,
but it's all right, you know. Like,
Yeah.
we're starting out, so
Oh,
You guys are growing with them too.
Yeah.
yeah, so
So
appreciate it.
everybody, thanks for joining us. This has been Kevin.
Hopefully I'll be back on.
Thank you. Yeah, anytime, dude. Yeah. Kevin's been here for some of the other shows, just sitting off camera and just watching and enjoying it. So
he's been kind of on this whole like reptile journey with us. Just
He's
been there. Like
anytime we got something new, like, oh, dude, guess what I got?
Yeah,
that's sick, man. Like we were just cool about it. But everybody, thank you so much for all your support. Right. You know, like, subscribe.
I'm gonna put the like subscribe thing like right here. So
do it.
Click that. It's gonna be like right here.
Subscribe. Do it.
I don't know. Right here. Somewhere.
Yeah. So, plugs. We're on Instagram, Reptile Radio Extravaganza. Always posting new stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, anytime we get a new animal or one of them that we currently have does something cool. You know, we're always posting, always trying to...
Facebook too, right?
Facebook.
You made a Facebook.
Yeah, and we write back, comment back. We like your stuff. We like to see your guys' stuff too.
For like, follow for follow, you know?
I mean, I enjoy going through the Instagram feed and seeing like what everyone has.
And we've had people reach out to us and say they love the show, and that means more than anything anyone could ever know.
Yeah.
And we may start season 2 getting some Skype interviews. We got friends all across the country that want to be a part of this, and that, to me, is amazing. Reptile Radio Extravaganza at gmail.com. You guys can email us, ask us questions, tell us we're dumb, and we'll tell you you're dumb too.
Yeah,
pretty much. Right back at you, buddy.
Yeah.
So, we just enjoy what we do, and we're going to keep doing it.
Right.
So, yeah, Reptile Radio Extravaganza, YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, Gmail, Facebook, you name it.
Season 1 done, son.
Season 1.
That's it.
Oh.
It's a wrap.